Now let's get to take a look at some issues with development, particularly we're hitting the Upper West region, the Dafiama Busie Isa constituency, also the district, and of course that constituency's member of parliament is in the studio with me. Honorable Sebastian Sandari is here. Good morning. Hope you're doing great.
I'm doing great.
Thanks for your time with us.
Very much.
And we'll be taking you through what's happening there by way of development, issues about health, particularly that district for the past 12 years or so had no doctor. Recently, a young man came in to support the facility. The district is also trying to put up a district hospital. Things are far advanced. Exactly how do they deal with it? The general health situation in there. But let me tell you the story of how this young doctor agreed to go to the district to start work. Watch this.
Currently, you can go over a month without any medical officer attending to any single client in the district.
Roads are in deplorable state. This affects healthcare delivery. Healthcare staff would not work in the Dafiama Busie Isa district. Efforts to get a doctor have not yielded any results.
The Regional Director of Health Services recently asked one medical officer to be taking care of the district. So the arrangement is that every week he apportions 2 of his working days to attend to the clients in the district.
But this has not helped. The arrangement is not working. There is more work to be done than the number of hands. Pregnant women are most affected.
If the government should come in or the management should come in to support us with another service personnel like 2 midwives or 3 in addition to the current one, it will make work more easier.
The district worked hard at correcting this after Mission visited district authorities. District authorities took up the challenge to correct this. The advocacy started. When Mission aired the story of the plight of the Dafiama Busie Isa district, which had no doctor, one selfless doctor, Dr. Ibrahim Isa, watched the story.
During your expose, this doctor approached the district assembly and indicated his readiness to come and work with us. So we sat down with him and we agreed on certain terms. And the assembly is ready to fulfill our part of the bargaining to make sure the doctor stays to save lives. So we are ready and we are prepared to do whatever that we have agreed on to make sure he delivers.
Dr. Isa's decision to move to serve the district and Ghana came after seeing the plight of residents. He vowed to make a change.
For me, individually, I want to make a difference. I want to help people. And I also believe that when we strengthen the peripheries, then the pressure on the bigger hospitals in the cities are reduced. And then as well as the cases that go there, some of them get to the cities, they're already bad, they're not salvageable. So if you really want to touch people, you want to touch lives, I think the peripheries is the place to be.
I met him already in the district. He's there to acquaint himself with the system.
The DC in particular, when I met him, he made mention of the fact that the whole district, they don't even have a single doctor. And then the plight of the pregnant women. Sometimes when they are pregnant, they decide to stay home because of the distance they have to travel. I think the closest is Nadoli or so. The distance they have to travel, it puts them off. So most of them decide to just stay home and then do traditional approaches, and then sometimes ends up in complications. So when I thought about it, I was like, this is just not, yes, at least, even if I can make a difference, at least I can tell which cases need to be referred urgently, the ones we can also handle or deal with them.
He's starting work as a district doctor. Arrangements have been completed except a few that have to be cleared with the Ghana Health Service.
The little that we can do in our power, we've been able to do that. Making sure we secure some accommodation, making sure we secure some little logistics that he might need to work with, making sure we secure some allowance that we'll be paying him while we wait for his full clearance. All those things have been taken care of. The major challenge now, which we have also tried to address, is about his transportation. So we have written to the Director General of Ghana Health Service, and now my DC has also followed it up with another letter, and we're hoping that he will respond positively, because I know him. He is also very interested in this area. So once he gets a vehicle released to him, that makes his movement easier to be able to visit the rest of the facilities, to also build the capacity of the staff within the district.
Residents are happy. A new doctor means no referrals to Naduli or Wa and the drudgery of traveling on poor roads. This also means improved health care. The district health team is grateful to TV3 Mission. A partnership has yielded results. They want enhanced collaboration to speed up development in the district. The district, meanwhile, continue to improve infrastructure in the push for a district hospital. A laboratory and other vital structures are ready to take off. With a new doctor ready to start work, the Dafema Busie Issa district is poised to open access to health care. Bright Nanamfo, TV3. All right, so pushing up development in the Dafema Busie Issa district. The Member of Parliament is here, Dr. Sandare. Once again, welcome. So that's the picture of the district, your constituency struggling to get a medical. At least now there is hope. Now, paint a picture of what should happen, what has happened in terms of improving health care for the people.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Bright, and I greet my constituents, Dafema Busie Issa. And let me also thank you for undertaking this project that is yielding results for my constituency and for the benefit of the entire region and the nation as a whole. And I'm excited that the district that has been there for some years without a doctor, we are taking the process to get one. And I want to commend all the stakeholders that have put efforts together to get this young doctor to Dafema Busie Issa, particularly the Regional Director of Health Service, the Honorable DCE, who is working very hard.
Right.
The
Honorable Sanda.
Yes, Honorable Sanda. The District Director of Health Service, Emmanuel, and then my good self, Dr. Sandare. Dafema Busie Issa is a classic example where we get results when stakeholders collaborate. I want to say that I was the first presiding member of Dafema Busie Issa, and we put up a culture. The culture is that we put development first.
Before partisanship.
Before partisanship. So if you go to the district assembly, nobody talks about partisan issues. And therefore, even before I left the assembly for parliament, we've had a development plan that it doesn't matter your party that comes to power. When you come, you continue with the development. And therefore, what you are seeing, whether in health or in education, there's a plan that is laid out that all of us have agreed that follow it when your party comes to power. And that is what we are seeing. But saying that, listening to the doctor, you know, he said, watching your clip, it touched him. And he was the first to decide before he started interacting stakeholders. And for me, this is an example of a doctor that this nation should motivate, this nation, including myself, as a district, as an MP, I'm willing to do what I can to motivate this doctor. And I was actually there when we received him into the community, and everybody was excited. I was there, the DC was there, the district director was there, other stakeholders, the chiefs were there. I'm clearly looking at the Dafiama Busse Issa constituency. The health system, I'll talk about the health system, still has some weaknesses that we still have to address. One, you just saw the referral system in terms of transportation. People are still using the tricycle and other things. The road is bad, which is still linked with the referral system. Right. And then, you see, before the doctor can function effectively, we have to look at the periphery, the health centers, and the chip zones. And I just want to chip in something that will support the doctor, which has not come to your attention, but because of your project, you know, we are centering on the doctor. On the quiet, what I have also done as an MP, you know, is to look at the health centers. Before I started, if you had gone around, you'd know that in almost all the health centers, we have 5 centers, you didn't have a single medical assistant. And the doctor needs medical assistance at the health centers to refer cases to him. So while we are focusing on the bigger picture, I also took that project that I will work hard to equip the health centers. So as we are talking, you now have a medical assistant at the Fiame Health Center. You have a medical assistant at Busse Health Center. You have a medical assistant at Fiame Health Center. It's Lawit, 2, the ISA. 2
health centers.
The ISA and Kajupiri.
Right.
ISA, that efforts are being made to, you know, upgrade it to the status of a district hospital. There we are looking at a doctor actually going there when the facilities is complete. What is left is Kajupiri Health Center. Now, as we are talking, I'm already in line with another medical assistant that will move to Kajupiri. So that in our district, in the Fiame Busse Issa district, you can go to any health center, then you have a medical assistant that will now feed the doctor at the hospital. That is the grand plan, and we are almost working hard to achieve that before the year ends.
So that collaboration,
yes.
And that's what the DC, Mr. Sanda, the district director, Emmanuel, all of been talking about. That collaboration is what is achieving the results we're seeing, particularly also with the building of the district hospital.
Right. And that is true. Just like I started, you know, it's a district where collaboration is very strong. And if you had interviewed the DCE, you know, you realize that during his confirmation, he had 100%. I belong to NDC, he belongs to MPP. But I was there. Together with all the assembly members, we all made sure that, please, endorse this young man. Let's join forces. Because I told them that he's a civil engineer. I'm a medical doctor. So if God has blessed us and put a civil engineer and a medical doctor together, then we have no reason to fail
your people
of the Fiame Busse. And we are working hard that, unlike other districts or constituencies where you may go and you find a problem between the DCE and the MP, and you know they are not working well, in the Fiame Busse, we have a very good relationship. And because of that good relationship, we put issues together, we discuss. What I would do is to complement, because you know almost all the resources will go to the assembly. But as an MP, I can also do certain things that will go a long way to help develop this. And like I said, I've worked hard to get medical assistance to all the health centers, and that. Even as a new district, we are different from the other old districts if you go to Upper West. But touching on the doctor, because he's so dear to my heart.
And one key thing that
Yes.
the District Director of Health, Mr. Maurice Sanwook, raises that transportation for him would have to be worked at with the Ghana Health Service. Perhaps that's an area you need to start working on quickly.
Rightly so. And we have actually started.
First rating to the Ghana Health Service.
Yes.
What are the responses and when is it likely that this would happen?
We haven't really gotten any response. But before I talk about the transportation, for me, what is important for this young doctor, which all of us will have to advocate for him, he's not on salary.
For now.
For now. He's not even been recruited. His presence there, like I said, is the efforts of stakeholders. That because he's expressed interest to work in the district, we put efforts together to put him there. So as we talk, at the end of the month, we put efforts together, and I'm supporting that just to sustain him, to keep on moving. The question is, for how long will the MP and the Assembly continue to take care of this young doctor? And that is where I want to appeal to government. If we have identified a young doctor who is willing to sacrifice, then this nation, in terms of recruitment,
To
it
expedite
should be
action.
considered
Okay.
with the quickest action that we need
All right.
as a nation.
Honorable Sangda, just let me hold you on for some time. Now, the president of the weekend cut a sword or broke the ground for the construction of a major road linking the Bongo district to the rest of the country. That road is a shorter road compared to having to go through Navrongo and Paga if you want to go to the Burkina Faso, Ghana's neighbor. Now, if you turn right on getting to Bolga, you go through Bongo and then to the Bongo district, and then you move on through Balungu, Gorigo, all the way to Namu to hit the Burkina Faso border. That road will link you up. And a huge culvert on that road is what is causing the trouble. Now, vehicles are not using it because the road is not in good shape. And the Assembly is losing a lot of money. Over the weekend, residents were excited. The president broke the ground for work to begin. Let's speak to the district chief executive for Bongo, Honorable Peter Ayimbisi. Just join me on the phone lines. Good morning, and grateful for your time this morning. Now, certainly Bongo district is all happy because of what happened over the weekend. Tell me about it.
Yeah, good morning, Bryce, and good morning to the channel's viewers. Let me say good morning to the paramount chief of the Bongo traditional area, Nabasalo Fuademiaro, and sub-chiefs who poured out in their large numbers to welcome His Excellency, the President, to the Bongo district. In fact, I must say that I'm enjoying a sense of relief, very, very excited because of what happened last week Thursday in the Bongo district. I'm saying happy because that bridge that the president cut short for the construction, the bridge that links Bongo to Burkina Faso, was first constructed in 2003. And since then, that road, that culvert, that bridge, I've never seen any little maintenance since it was constructed. Over the years, the people across that part of the district kept calling on Assembly, kept calling on the MP, kept calling on the government to come to their aid. All these cries fell on deaf ears. Nobody probably listened to them. That is why the bridge finally had to give up and caved in early part of this year. So when I took over office as a member of the Assembly who has been working around over the years, I realized that it was going to become an important part of my development agenda. So I took it upon myself, made several calls to the federal regional engineer, this same to the regional minister, this same to the sector minister. And my honorable regional minister, Honorable Inibok, Dr. Bukari, a hardworking man, of course, also made a number of follow-ups. And eventually, the minister was on site, sorting to himself, and decided at long last to award that stretch of road on contract. So if I'm happy because a road that has been in a deplorable state over several years, today we are going to get a better bridge across that place. I was worried because we were losing IGF, because that is the part that the Bongo district generates huge sums of money by way of IGF, because you know activities in every border district or border area. And because of that bridge, it was eventually cutting off the Bongo district, for them at Ghana, from Burkina Faso, from that end of the country. And that apart, there's a private university across the Namoi area, and the tutors commute daily from Bolga to Namoi area to teach, and this was creating problems for me. That apart, the Bongo district, as part of our activities to build a factory, we intend to put up a clay factory in Balungu. So these all are things that were going to be prohibited because of the road. So if I say I'm happy because I've gotten relief, and very soon, within a period of 1 year, all these roads will be fixed.
I am grateful. We'll have to wrap up here. Honorable Peter Ayimbisi is District Chief Executive for Bongo there. We'll be following closely. Mission reported on that story, and so we will be following closely how that road gets fixed and report to you. Honorable Sanda, let's wrap up our conversation. And so the health sector in your constituency getting a lot of resources. Assure us that this is not the end of it, and that more will be done to improve health in DPI. Let's wrap up on that.
Rightly so, and surely that is what I promise my people of Dafiama Buse is our constituency, and that's why they voted for me as their member of parliament. I want to assure them that we'll continue with a good collaboration. I will continue to put my resources to serve the people, to advocate for them, to ensure that there is that rapid development in Dafiama Buse Issa. And I say this and appeal to my people that let's talk development in Dafiama Buse Issa.
I'm grateful. He is a member of parliament for Dafiama Buse Issa constituency, Honorable Sebastian Sandari. We're grateful for your time. And also to you there, Honorable Nadimoro Sanda, District Chief Executive, Dafiama Buse Issa District, Emmanuel Samwook District Director of Health. Great job there in providing health for the people. Mission was brought to you courtesy or support of Star Ghana, Danida, the European Union, and UK Aid. There's more on Mission. Don't miss it every weekend. Stay right here. We have more coming up after.